magical teleporting dog. It's Murphy. He's a cute and curly golden demigod. You're such a good dog. Good dog, good dog, good dog, good dog. You're such a good dog. Close the night out right, panel at the table in that half-dead light. Miss Robin in the middle, calling every shot, directing and producing, till the story runs hot. 1-1 from the city, badge heavy on his chest, towing that law like a wicked chain, spitting facts, no rest. Crimes after dark, we close the night outright, tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. JJ in the corner, state of the deep in his head. Which lies to toss and which ones to keep instead? Dago from the cafe says forget about it, leans back, spins his thoughts like a blade cutting holes in the track. Lee at the front, head advocate, steady stare, every word like a warning, every silence a dare. All of them leaning in, clock crawling, eyes bright, every secret feels louder than the buzzing of the night. Crimes after dark, we close the night outright, tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite. You can bury it in paper, you can lock it in a file, but the truth bleeds through, drip by drip, tile by tile. We're dragging it to daylight, name by name, line by line. If you wrote it in the shadows, we'll read it out this time. Yeah. Crimes after dark, we close the night outright, tear through the lies till the wrong sounds like a fight. All of the answers buried so deep out of sight. We watch the threads unravel, we watch the threads ignite.
All right, everybody. Can I get a wave backstage? Make me know that I've got good sound. Fantastic. Thank you, everybody, for being backstage. We've got a mostly full house. We're missing JJ from State of the Deep, but that's a normal thing on Mondays. We are at a brand new time, and so far, so good. The numbers are pretty much where we are starting a lot of times. So, and a lot of people probably haven't figured out that we are an hour earlier. So good potential start. This is a busier time frame where some of you have to make decisions on who you're going to watch live and who you're going to watch on replay. So if you've chosen us or any of my co-hosts, such as Dago and Logan, then thank you for checking us out and making us your choice to watch us live and watch other people on replay, because it does mean a lot to us to get live viewers. So if you've chosen us, thank you so much from all of our team and for supporting us. In that vein, let's get at her. We've got a pretty just open discussion tonight. I did have a video drop this morning on Nikki Stein's, the 2-hour body camera footage. It's been out there for a long time from Court TV, but I broke it down and did my analysis and pointed out things that I saw. So we'll talk about that as a team. But other than that, it's kind of open season. Afterwards, by the way, again, we usually go about 2 hours. When we get done afterwards, I'm going to open up a members-only stream for people to come join if you want to hang out. And oftentimes, panelists will join me for the after hours or whatever members only part. I'm going to do something a little different on that one, where I'm going to have a video game on screen while I'm talking to my thing. If it doesn't work out, we won't keep doing that. But the point being is that it's just a very, very chill, relaxed, ask me anything format if you're interested in that kind of thing. All right, let's just get right at it. Let's bring the panel up in the order that they are backstage, and we'll hit it hard for the evening. All right, Dago, what's up? Oh, you have to unmute yourself, man.
Forget about it.
You sound a little quieter. You usually come in at that, you're so deep that I'm usually having to like check my pants. But,
Forget about it.
So what's up for tonight?
4 hours later.
Oh shit! Sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Anyway, not a whole lot. I had a good show today discussing. Jesus, just went brain dead there. Okay, great show I had. I was discussing something, and we had a great conversation about that thing we were discussing. It was Idaho 4, of course, and we went to the trying to remember the damn title of the show. Motives. That's what it was. It was motives, suspects, and corruption. That's what it was. So it was a good conversation. Eddie joined me. Moto Man joined me, and we discussed some things. Every time we have a show, we get into these conversations that are always amazing, and I love them. So it was a great one. Absolutely.
Great. And I don't know how you do it, because like by the time you come to our show, you've usually done 2 or 3 lives, and now you're on your like whatever live, but you still coffee. This isn't coffee, bitch. Was usually what I was.
My people take such good care of me. I just received a package from, I think it was Kawanda today. I got. It was and I love McDonald's coffee, guys. And I get the K cups because I have that Keurig thing, right?
Yeah.
Just send me 84 new pods for it. So I am so happy. So happy.
Wow. Well, that's very cool. I'd like to say my people don't love me that much, but then again, they do. They just they show support. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. So I don't want to complain. Oh, like nobody sends me K-pods and shit like that. But it's all good. It's all good. I'll just sit here and be envious. It's okay. But it's good to have you on the show again. Let's get in the order that they're backstage. Let's get Robin on next. Robin with another wallpaper behind you. You're changing it up, making it look different.
Yep, changing it up. I'll send you some K-cups.
Okay, you do enough for the show already. I don't expect people who are already donating their whole life to the show to help out with K-cups, but yeah. I like a good coffee with a K-cup every once in a while. So and like it seems like, here's the thing. My wife collects like a million different varieties of coffee. So when I tell her I'm out of coffee and I want to buy another box of coffee, she's like, "No, you don't need to buy another box. We got tons of coffee." And I'm like, "No, we have your variety coffees. I like specific kinds of stuff."
Lee, quick question. Do you have an Amazon wish list for your community?
Someone told me I should do one, and I don't think I've really taken the time.
So that means no. One. That means
right.
No. Yeah, and that's why you don't get coffee, sir. So,
okay. I don't even know how to advertise that stuff, even if I had an Amazon wish list. But I'll have to.
I don't know who would have told you that.
I know. I felt like that's what. Well, the reason I was kind of vague is I think maybe at one point they did set one up, but I don't remember what I put on it if I did put it on there. But
you need
I told you that.
Yeah, she did tell you. She told me that she told you.
I make a regular habit of not listening to Robin, who's a producer.
I know.
Ask my moderators. Watch the chat blow up right now. Ask my moderators how often I used to listen to them until I do now, but I didn't in the beginning. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, did I find that was not a good thing to do. But I did it too.
Well, I will try. I will try. Yeah, Rob. Oh, wow. Now the wife's cheering. Welcome to my pain and my husband not listening to anybody. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'm getting teamed up on over here. This bullshit.
Bullshit.
All right, let's get Logan on, and if she says anything, I'll probably just fucking tune her out because I don't listen to anybody anyways. But Logan, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm sorry. What'd you say?
Shut up.
How about your day? What happened with you today?
I worked and then we did our live, which I actually really enjoyed today. I'm doing a new thing where once a week I'm going to take all of the emails that all the subscribers send in and we're going to go over them. Hopefully spark ideas in other people and things like that. And I really, really liked it. It was fun.
It was a great show. It was.
Thank you.
Yeah, really I like those mailbag ideas. Sometimes it's really cool to just kind of dig into and like take time to acknowledge the people who had spent time sending you emails. That's very cool. So
yeah. And your chat was super interactive. I was watching. It was very good. Very
good
show.
Chat is excellent all the time. Excellent.
Yeah. All right. Well, and I've got a habit of not seeing my chat most of the time because literally, like I feel like my eyesight's not as good as it should be. So I literally sometimes can't see my own chat, but. Anyways, it was funny. It's like, don't feel like my eyesight's that bad. Like, anyways, fuck.
Yeah, until you get glasses and it corrects it, and then you're like, oh, this is how you see with eyeballs.
Right, because then I'm like, oh shit, like I can read every letter, and then I'm like, it's like a fucking blur. Right?
Oh shit, not good.
All right, well, it's good to see you on the show again, and let's get one up here and have him do a monologue, and then we'll kick this sucker off.
Van.
Good
evening. I'm busy researching Bernie. I need to know what happened to Bernie.
We want to know what happened to Bernie.
4-episode series.
Absolutely.
On, what happened to Bernie?
I think I could make a 4-episode series on Bernie and what happened to Bernie. But
I'm sure we could.
That would definitely come up with something for that, sure.
But
and it would be awesome to do it, like cover the forensics and interviews. And
and then at the end of it, say, fight. Oh my God, you guys.
He was last seen speeding around on a boat, but rumor has it he wasn't entirely alive.
Have you guys ever had these?
Wait, what kind are they?
What kind of goldfish?
They're the Harry Potter butterbeer flavor. Holy shit.
Good?
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Harry Potter butter what?
Butterbeer.
Butterbeer?
Did you watch Harry Potter at all?
I did.
Yes.
I did.
You did or didn't?
I did.
Okay. So the butterbeer, the shit that they drink, butterbeer, it's like a sweet, like butterscotchy type flavor. These are good as shit, folks. If you haven't had them, get them.
I don't eat that shit. I only eat bloody steak. That's it.
Oh,
yeah.
Fucking vampire.
Pretty sure that would knock my ketosis straight into dick in the dirt.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah. So thanks for sharing the tip that some people can't even take it, but it does sound intriguing. All right, one. What do you got for either the recap of your day or a monologue? Which one do you want to jump into?
All three.
Okay, do it.
All right. It's good to be alive in the den.
Yes.
On a Monday night.
Always.
Yes.
Juliana, Jackson, my beautiful wife. Love you guys. Some stories don't start with a scream. They start with a whisper. A quiet courthouse tucked deep in the mountains of eastern Kentucky in a place called Lecher County. The kind of town where people wave from their trucks, where the courthouse clock marks the slow rhythm of a small town life, and where justice is supposed to live behind polished wooden benches and framed flags. But sometimes justice dies in the very room where it's supposed to be protected. Because on one ordinary day, inside the courthouse, the unthinkable happened. Two men, both powerful, both known to the community. One wore the robe of authority, Judge Kevin Mullins, the man who sat above the courtroom, deciding guilt, innocence, and everything in between. And the other, Sheriff Mickey Steins, the highest lawman in the county, a man sworn to enforce the law, to protect the courthouse, to protect the people inside it. Two men who had walked those courthouse halls for years, two men who knew each other, two men who represented the very system meant to keep order. But on that day, something inside that courthouse shifted, something broke. And in the quiet echo of government hallways, where justice is supposed to speak the loudest, violence answered instead. Sirens would soon pierce the mountain air, blue lights would flash against the courthouse windows, and a small Appalachian town would find itself asking a question no one ever expected to ask. How does something like this happen inside the very place meant to protect the law? Was it rage? Was it betrayal? Was it something buried deep inside the tangled politics of a small town where power and loyalty often walk the same road? Because in places like Lecher County, everyone knows everyone. Everyone knows the stories, but not everyone knows the truth. And sometimes the truth hides in the silence between the facts. Tonight on Devil's Advocates, we step into that silence. We examine the courthouse, the timeline, the men behind the titles, and the moment when law, authority, and trust collapsed inside the very building meant to defend them. So turn the lights down, let the room get quiet, and listen carefully, because some stories don't shout, they whisper. And in Lecher County, the whisper started inside a courthouse. This is Devil's Advocates. And with that, live from New York, it's Monday night.
All right. Well, thanks for kicking us off. And I'm pretty open to go where you guys want to go, to boldly go where no one goes before. What?
It wasn't, damn it, 1-1. It wasn't long enough. I wanted to.
What? You want to do the
I
4 hours?
wanted to do that afterwards, and it wasn't that long this time. Damn you.
Well, if you want, I can do a 45-minute Terry stop.
No, we're good. We're good. We're good, bro. That was a great one, though. Great one. Great one. As always.
So, yeah, like I said, there's no set agenda. I did, like I said, I did drop a video this morning. It's on an older video of the court TV body cam footage of Mickey Stein's shortly after he shot the judge in Whitesburg, Kentucky. And I broke down the video and watched the whole thing. I was kind of surprised because I hadn't watched the entire video. I'd seen pieces of it, but I didn't see. There was a portion at the end where they transport Mickey Steins from Whitesburg, Kentucky to Lecher County Jail. And the conversation in that car was surprising on multiple fronts because one, it was surprising how many times they asked him if the shooting had to do with his daughter, like over and over again. Is this about your daughter, Mickey? Is this about your daughter, Mickey? Is this about your family? And they kept saying, if there's something if there's more to this story that we should know, you should probably tell us now because it'll help the investigation. And then one of the officers, and I thought it was Jason Bates, who was a friend of his from Kentucky State Police who was driving the car, said, Mickey, what was it you were trying to tell me when I showed up about the house arrest program? And I was like, holy shit, like it's right there. Like I've told people that shooting in the judge's chamber has to do with the previous case of Sabrina Atkins versus Ben Fields and the home monitoring, ankle monitoring system. And there it was, bigger than shit. The guy says, what did you try to tell me right away about the house arrest right after he shot the judge? So there's no question. Those things are related. Not that there was a question in my mind anyways, but I just thought it was interesting to kind of go back through it and break down the details. How many of you have seen that? I know Dago, you saw it. Have you guys seen that body camera footage before?
Today, I reviewed it. Yeah. I didn't, I saw just parts of it before, but
I
didn't know that there was a whole big thing on this Brandon officer, huh? So it looks like there's, I know you're going to get into it, but it looks like there might be some history there.
Well, the
prior history.
Yeah, and Logan, have you seen any of this at all? The
I have not, and so I'm hoping you're gonna tell us and share it, and because I'd really like to know.
Yeah, you know about the story a little bit, right? With the sheriff, the judge. Yeah. So a while ago, Court TV had put out this clips of Mickey Stein's odd behavior that day, where he thinks everybody's trying to kill him. And I asked the question, playing devil's advocates, what if that's because somebody's actually threatening to kill Mickey Stein's? Like maybe he's not just paranoid, but maybe he actually has been threatened. And in fact, his attorney has stated that Mickey Stein's life had been threatened. He was told to harm himself or somebody would harm his family. And again, they kept asking him, is this about your daughter? Is this about your family? So I think they know damn well a lot more than they're saying.
We didn't. Yeah. And you're right. Sorry to interrupt you, but we didn't know when they put that video out, because I reviewed that whole thing. We didn't know at that point that he actually had been threatened. Okay. There was a whole thing behind that. It was just him acting and looking paranoid. And it's like, as soon as we learned the other piece of that, holy shit, everything was like chink. You know what I mean? So
look, and there's rumors. Yeah, I want to get to the Brandon thing because especially since Logan doesn't know, but there's rumors, as you guys probably know. I've been talking a lot to Jody from Defense Rests, who's an Australian YouTuber, right? And she's gotten really heavily involved with the women of Lecher County who were abused by this home ankle monitoring system that Ben Fields was running and stuff like that. And well, anyways, they've all had different theories about what happened in the judge's courtroom before Mickey Stein shot and killed him. Some believe that Mickey tried to call his daughter. She didn't answer. He asked for the judge's phone. He calls his daughter from the judge's phone. She does answer, and he pulls out a gun and guns him down, which leads everybody to speculate what the fuck's going on at that? Like, why does he kill the judge for the fact that his daughter answered the phone when the judge called? When you know what the judge supposedly knew and was allowing happening in his courtroom, you can start to jump to conclusions. But some people say that's not what happened. Some people said Mickey Steins had actually reported on the sexual abuse scandal that was going on to the Kentucky State Police, and that they refused to investigate because they worked too closely with Letcher County Sheriff's Department, so they didn't want to investigate it. So Mickey Steins had gone above Kentucky State Police to the State Attorney General's office. They were investigating the case shortly before Mickey Stein shot and killed the judge. It started to go off the rails. People were threatening Mickey Steins to shut your fucking mouth about what's going on in this county. And so Mickey Stein started to become unstable and was threatening and told people, like, they're going to kill me. And somebody told me that he was literally taken out and attempted to kill him out in the woods at one point.
We covered that on my channel at one point in time. And for those of you that were there, that when he was delivering, I think it was like mobile meals or Meals on Wheels or something with the one pastor friend of theirs. That if that guy wouldn't have been with them, Mickey might no longer be with us. That's a fact.
So it has to ask yourself, is Mickey, I do admit, watching the video, Mickey Steins does look shell-shocked, and he does show signs of not being entirely aware what's going on. There was a moment, by the way, I'm going to get back to Brandon. I'm glad you asked that one, but there was a moment, get this, the sheriff who had been a bailiff for a long time and in law enforcement, had run twice, I think, as sheriff. They literally, an officer says, okay, Mickey, I'm going to read you Miranda. And he goes, what's Miranda? And he goes, your rights. And he goes, who's Miranda? And how does the sheriff not know who Miranda is or what Miranda rights are? And I think it's because Mickey Steins was still in shock. Like he literally just killed somebody. He's still in shock. And he has a dazed look on his face a lot. Like when they ask him, Mickey, are you listening to me? And he just kind of stares at him like, what the fuck? And he even said at one point, I don't know what you're saying. Like,
when they had him sit in the hall. Yeah, when they had him sit in the hallway there and they were trying to talk to him and they were bringing in the guys that he had known his whole life, he's just kind of sitting there staring as they're talking to him, and he'd look away and then he'd look over here and he's staring again. And I'm like, I was telling the community when I was doing, I was like, this dude is out of it. Like, it made me wonder. I almost thought he was on something for a minute. And then it's like he came back for a minute and then he was starting to say things thinking like, you're not taking me down there. I'm not going over here. I'm not going over there. So yeah, it was wild. It really was.
And that's my take. Mickey shows a moment of kind of laughing and kind of hamming it up with a buddy, like, hey, remember when we used to box as kids? And he's like, yeah, you used to whip my ass. And there was and he was having a good time until, well, as one said, a guy by the name of Brandon. And the only reason I know he's Brandon is because one moment when he offers to go get another pair of cuffs, because Mickey's a large guy, and so he was handcuffed behind his back, and it was uncomfortable for him because he's a very large guy. So they were going to get a second pair of cuffs to extend the range his arms could reach, right? By, sometimes they double cuff you or put two pairs of cuffs together. So they were going to get a second pair of cuffs. And at one point, Mickey says, Brandon, I don't need them. So that's the only reason I know his guy's name. But what's weird is I searched all over when I was making the video, like, who the fuck is Brandon? Because what I saw was very, very weird. So online, they say no one has been able to confirm the identity of Brandon. And I don't know that I really believe that, but I haven't been able to find it yet. Like, I've tried and tried to find out who Brandon is. Here's what I'll tell you happened. This guy comes up and immediately Mickey Stein's behavior changes. He goes from being kind of like a little jovial, laughing about the boxing thing, to shutting down. And he tells the guy gets right in his face, very, very close with him. By the way, that officer had his hand on his gun most of the time. He had his hand on his weapon the entire time. And Mickey says, I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. He wouldn't look at him. He seemed extremely agitated by him. And the guy kept staring down the hall with a really weird, like he was waiting for somebody to look away or whatever. And Mickey was terrified of the guy, in my opinion. And I watched that play. And then when Brandon went to go get the second pair of cuffs, Mickey, who said he was terrified of leaving the courthouse and didn't want to be transported, as soon as Brandon left, he says, we can leave now if you want. He wanted to leave. As soon as that guy left, he wanted to leave. I find the whole fucking thing super weird. Like, that guy, he literally told him, I'm afraid. I don't feel safe around you. You charged me, because this guy apparently charged him right after the shooting. And he felt unsafe around this guy. And the guy even said, Mickey, you've known me for a long time. So they have a history together, but I don't know who the fuck he is.
I think there's a reason, Lee, that none of us, because we looked into him too. I think there's a reason none of us can find who Brandon is, truly.
Yeah.
I think that's part of Mickey's issue with Brandon too. I'll just say that.
That's what I'm wondering. I mean, it seemed to me that he was very intimidated by this guy. And when, there was a couple of moments of Brandon. So Brandon is standing super close to Mickey as Mickey's sitting down. And Mickey is very uncomfortable. And at one point, an officer actually grabs Brandon and pulls him away. And he says, get over here. And he pulls him away to give space, because I think that guy can tell Mickey was disturbed by this guy's presence. And at one point, they even tell the guy to leave, it looks like. And Brandon leaves. And he goes down the hallway towards the back of the courthouse, where they're going to take Mickey at one point. They're going to take him to the back of the courthouse and down to the Sally Port, where they can put him in a police car and escort him to the other jail, right? And when they start to walk him down that hallway towards where Brandon was, he's like, no, guys, no, man, don't do this to me. Don't do it. And he's terrified. He's like, don't do this. Don't make me go down there. He was fucking freaked out. And he kept looking around corners for somebody to ambush him. He thought he was going to get shot going to the back of the courtroom.
I remember when he gets to the car, he looks in the back of the car before he would.
He literally thinks somebody.
The dude was terrified, folks. No lie. It was like, in my opinion, you guys can think what you want, but looking at his face and his reaction, he was truly, honestly, and this is a big dude, like grape ape size big, okay? Petrified to go. He did not want to go through the doorway to get into the Sally Port. He kept looking, trying to go the other direction. It was crazy, folks. I'd never seen it before.
And here, go ahead, Logan.
And it wasn't like I know what I'm about to go through, so I'm going to manipulate the psychology type thing. It was truly terrified.
It doesn't feel that way. I'm glad you asked that, because one could argue was Mickey putting on a big show so that he could later plead insanity and say, oh, I was out of my mind. It didn't. It looked authentic. I think he was shell shocked.
And with your background, maybe are we going to watch the video again, Lee? Or no?
I can play parts of it. Yeah, I've got it.
I was going to say, with her, she should watch this. I'd like to get her like, what do you think on this based on what you just said?
I'm trying to find what moment I would want to show her.
I mean, the whole thing, from the moment he's sitting in the hallway till the time they take him down to the Sally, the whole thing is like wild, watching his reactions to everything.
Yeah.
He's terrified.
Yes.
Yeah, I've got a good video here of Brandon showing up, if you guys want to see my comment on that. So I'll put that on hold for just a second. One of the things I was going to share with you, though, is funny, is when they told him that they were going to transport him to Lecher County. So first of all, Logan, understand this. In that courthouse, the basement of the courthouse is the jail. And Mickey said, I want to be put in the basement. I don't want to leave. He says, if you put me in a car, I'll never draw a breath again. I'll get killed.
They'll kill
When
me.
they told me they're going to take him to Leslie, he laughed. He goes, I'll never make it to Leslie. You guys are going to pull over and somebody's going to kill me on the way. I'm never going to make it to Leslie.
He says it in the car too, doesn't he, Lee?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And oddly enough, when they're driving, they call in 2 cars on the way that were pulled over that were suspicious. So they said, hey, check out this black BMW on the side of the road. Check out this black truck. It was almost like they themselves were starting to get a little bit nervous that somebody was going to ambush them on the way to the jail. So that was disturbing. I didn't really talk about that much on the video at all, but
very true.
But one of the things I thought was funny is, Mickey said, he goes, you guys are going to pull over on the way to Leslie County Jail, and I'm never going to make it there. The only reason he agreed to go with them is because they had Jason Bates, was a longtime friend of his, and the other officer that knew him and said, look, Mickey, we'll go with you and take you personally. You know we're not going to harm you. So he kind of eased up a little. And even with that, he said, you guys are going to kill me. He even said to his friends, you guys are going to kill me. They're like, why would we do that? You're like, you're going to kill me. I'm not going to make it. So
yeah, they were like, we've known you my whole life. Oh, Mickey, why would I do that? We work together. We know each other.
And he kept saying, I just want a fair trial. And he kept saying this. Here was the other thing he also said about the daughter thing. He said, they said, Mickey, I thought you said you wanted to tell us what happened. You want to talk about it. And he says, I want to see my daughter, and I want to see my daughter face to face. You can put her on a video call. You can bring her down to the jail cell, but I want to physically see my daughter. And once I see her, then I'll tell you everything. And that never happened. They wouldn't let him see his daughter. And so he didn't talk. He said, as soon as I see my daughter, I'll talk to you. He never got to see her, and he never talked. So,
just be fair. Just be fair. That's all I kept saying.
Just be fair. Guys, just be fair. That's why a fair trial.
Don't do me like that.
Don't do me. Don't do me like
that.
I actually felt. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say at one point he tells them to turn out his pockets because he doesn't want them to say he went. That's what he was waiting. I think Mickey thought that they were going to say he went for a gun or a weapon and that they shot him. And so he said, I want you to turn my pockets out and prove I got nothing on me. I don't have any weapons on me. Turn my pockets out and the whole 9 yards. I'm going to pull something up. Yeah.
I fully agree with you. At some point I really felt bad for him. Like I was scared for him. I was starting to wonder.
Yeah.
If for him to be this scared, being as big as he is, being the sheriff, knowing these people, for him to keep saying what he was saying, I was like, Jesus Christ, something's going to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I got some video here. I'll try to fast forward through parts that makes it a little bit more interesting. Let me play this. Can you hear the sound?
I didn't even, where was it at, Mickey?
Could you hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, now Mickey's looking. Yeah, Mickey's staring down the hallway. He's very afraid about who's going to come around the corner. He's sitting there. He looks left and right all the time, out the front doors and down that's the back of the courthouse back that way, where they end up taking him, and he gets terrified. But let me show you the arrival of Brandon. I think it's right here.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Oh, I don't wear mine often. We don't have.
Okay, here comes Brandon and his group.
There can't be more than 2 people with you.
So this guy right here is the one that's talking, and this individual is the guy that he's terrified of. This guy comes up and gets right in his fucking space. It watches over him like a dog and just kind of keeps his hand on his gun. And he tells him repeatedly, I'm afraid, especially when this guy shows. And look at Mickey. Mickey's staring right at him. I mean, that's who Mickey's attention's on, is this guy when he shows up.
The whole time, yes.
And look, he even shakes his head like, oh, fuck, man. Like Mickey literally has that move like, oh, here it comes. Like he's just waiting for something horrible to happen.
Court issues when they talk to you, but we can have multiple people move. And he's got his body camera. If you want to talk to him, not more than 2 people can talk to him. Okay? That's a Supreme Court ruling. It's coercion. It's duress if we do that. Okay? But we'll have multiple people.
Permission more than 2 to talk to me.
And I'll just skip forward a little bit. Here's where Brandon gets a little closer to him.
We'll make sure. We'll make sure you're okay.
Safety, and we're going to make sure that you're safe right now. Yeah. You got up in my face there a while ago. I don't feel safe. Man, I've worked with you all for years, man. I know. For years, I don't feel safe. Listen to me. When you were pulling away from me, I'd always been mad at him, and I don't know. I don't feel safe.
So that's kind of the gist of this part. What?
Did you see when Brandon put his hand on Mickey's shoulder? Mickey kind of
Yeah.
slouched to the other side, like pulling away from
Yeah.
him almost.
Oh yeah, and this guy's the only guy that gets that close to Mickey. Like if
Yeah.
people give him space, this guy comes in and gets right in his space, and Mickey keeps saying, "Man, I don't feel." It's the first time he
Right.
starts saying, "I don't feel safe. I don't feel safe. You charged me in there," and he's like, "Hey, look, there's a lot of stuff going on and whatever." So, anyways, that's part of the interactions of him. I was going to show you a couple more pieces if I can. Watch.
Walking down to the Sally port, and his
That's what I was gonna
reaction
show.
is very crazy and interesting.
That's going to show. I was going to show the read and the Miranda rights, but you got the gist of it. Where he's like, "What do you mean Miranda?"
Right.
Yeah. Like, how do you not know what Miranda is? Okay, here's where they're going to take him.
Go to. Come on now, don't do me like this.
It's not showing, Lee.
Nothing's going to happen to you.
Oh.
I promise you.
Sorry.
Yeah.
How did I take it off screen? Oh, because I'm a dumbass. That's fine.
So, I'm not. We're not even going to worry
Don't do
about
me like this now, guys. Come on now.
Mickey, nobody's going to lay a finger on you, okay?
Come on now. Can we loosen these up? My hands are.
it. Let's get.
Now, Brandon's gone, and Brandon's already gone back down towards the back of the courthouse. That's why I think that Mickey has the reaction he's going to have when they start walking him that way. So now they're going to start walking back there. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's right. A little bit further back. Okay. I think this is good.
Don't do me like that.
Mickey, nobody's going to treat you unfairly at all, okay?
You want one more drink of water before we go too?
He keeps saying, "Don't do me like that," because he thinks they're going to literally kill him, and he keeps saying, "Don't do me like this." Okay, here we go.
Mickey, you're fine. I got my camera on.
Come on now, guys. No.
We got to get down there some way, okay? Mickey.
No, that ain't the way to the jail now, guys.
What's the way to the jail? How'd you get down there? I don't know. I've never done it from
That
here.
ain't the way to the jail. No.
What's the way to the jail? I thought the elevator went.
No.
That's the elevator.
Does the elevator
Like
go
that
down
guy.
the jail?
Oh.
They don't?
No, that elevator don't go down jail.
That guy is Clayton Stamper. He's the lead detective on this particular case.
That elevator don't go
Petrified.
But the only.
How do we get to be the Sally?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it, but when they come around the corner and one of the officers, Clayton, I think, pushes the elevator door, and Mickey immediately backs up and goes, "Oh, no, I'm not going there. That's not the way you go." And he's terrified they're leading him to his death. He's leading him to an ambush.
He's either outside or through this stairwell.
You
Ain't
don't
it?
have to go outside.
How do you get there? Show
You
us.
can go through that stairwell right there.
Well, come on. Show us. I don't know it.
Come on now, guys.
I've never
Be fair
been-
with me now.
I've been to this floor of the courthouse.
We can
and
get to the
Sally
jail
Port.
right here too. I'll show you.
Well, no, there's people in there. We can't.
No,
We
come
going.
on now, it's clear.
No, there's a woman right there. No, we're not going in there.
We're waiting in the Sally Port.
Come on,
Mickey,
Mickey.
we ain't letting you in the Lecher County jail.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not saying to do
Well,
that.
We ain't.
Come on now.
Come on.
Now you'll notice they have to keep pushing him on that thing. He's terrified to go down this hall. When they get him to the stairwell, he's looking around every corner for ambush. He's expecting to be killed at any minute. Now, is it a show? I don't know. We'll ask Logan in a minute because Logan asked that question. Is he just faking this, or is this genuine fear of what's happening? Yeah, so we'll play it through until he kind of gets down to the Sally Port, and you guys tell me whether we'll go to a discussion on that.
We ain't gonna hurt you, Mickey.
Yeah, come on. Let's go down the stairwell.
Come on now, guys.
Here.
Come on now.
You're good. Come on. It's right here.
Don't let them do this to me now, guys. Come on now.
Mickey, we ain't doing nothing to you. We're taking you downstairs.
Come on now.
Nobody's gonna do a thing to you.
You walk yourself, okay?
No, there's gloves there and everything now. Come on now.
Gloves. That's from.
Come on now.
That's from EMS.
No.
Keep going.
Now,
Come on. You're all right.
now.
I mean, he's looking for shooters. He's looking down he thinks he's a goner. He's fighting, and they're pushing him down the stairs. And he's like, no. And he's looking, he's all over the place looking for his ambush and his
This
death.
is crazy.
Y'all don't kill me now.
Mickey, we ain't gonna kill you. We ain't gonna do nothing to you. Except take you down here and put you in the car.
Yeah.
That's it.
Go this way.
Sally Port.
Come on. Nope. Don't. Not that way. Not that way. Come on.
Mickey, speak to my heart, sir.
No. You can't talk to him. You can't talk to him. Come on, Mickey. You know better.
Come on now. Don't put me down in jail. Here. We're not.
Now, this has got to be, and just to let you know, this is going to be a terrifying moment for Mickey. he comes down to this area. All three doors here are locked. One goes to the jail, one goes to the Sallyport area, and another one, I'm not sure exactly where it goes, but he gets pinned in a little tiny stairwell with about 6 guys all surrounding him. And you could tell he's like, oh, fuck, I'm dead. This is where it's going to happen. And it's bad.
Is that the jail or is this?
This is right here.
Come on, how do we get in the Sallyport?
It goes cuts left right here. I have been. Open the door. Hold on, give it a second.
There shouldn't have been nobody in there.
No,
Come on,
everybody's on lockdown.
Come on now.
Yes, sir. All right.
Come on now.
You're all right.
I mean, he's pinned by guys all over.
Now this ain't right. KSP, open the door. This ain't right.
And then we'll just skip ahead a little bit to him getting in the car. It takes him a while to get in the car. That's actually in the car.
You show him walking around looking at the car, not trusting any of that stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, he thinks he thinks somebody's waiting in the back of the car for him and that they're going to kill him when he gets in the back seat of the car. And again, is it paranoia? That's the question. Is this paranoia? Is it a state of delusional psychosis, stress-induced kind of thing, or is he putting on an act to try to do a later? I don't think so either. I don't know why the fuck my. Here's my keys, please. All right, let's put this back on full screen.
Go this other side. What's that? What'd you say? I'm going with Bates.
You're going with him?
Yeah.
This officer right here that's kind of reaching into his pocket. That's Jason Bates. That's a longtime friend. Yeah, a longtime friend of his from Kentucky State Police. That's the officer that he agreed to go with because they're lifelong friends. But even though he's a lifelong friend, he said, "You're going to pull over and I'm going to get killed." And he's like, "Why would I do that to you?" He goes, "You're going to pull over and have me killed." So even he thinks his best friend's going to fucking get one of his not best friend, but one of his closest friends from high school.
What is it?
Won't open the hatch. There's nobody in there.
Look at him peek. He's like making sure nobody's in the back.
Come on, Nick.
Come on now. Come on. Here. Hop in here. Come on now, guys. Come on.
Anyways, that's enough footage for now because I don't have time markers to show you. But I guess Logan, from since you asked the question, what do you think? Do you think he's putting on a show to plead insanity later? Do you feel it's genuine fear? What is your initial take?
So at first I saw him kind of like unsure, but they gave him a drink of water and he willingly took it. So I was like, oh, maybe he doesn't think they're going to hurt him because they could have put anything in that water.
Yeah.
But then the more it goes on, it almost gives you anxiety as you're watching it because you can feel what he's feeling. He won't turn his back to anybody. Like when they're in that hallway, he's pinned.
Yeah.
You can't fake. You can see the tension in his chest. He can't breathe.
Yep.
I think he's Four Hens in the chat said, I think he's having a mental break. And I think
my wife said this. My wife said the exact same thing, and she's got 2 degrees in psychology. And I said, I want you to look at this. I want you to tell me what you think. Like if you didn't know, she knew the situation. She was like, no, he's petrified, Joe. He's absolutely petrified. So that's her opinion too.
You don't.
Let me tell you
when you're faking things, you're not going to think to pretend to look first before you go. Those things you just don't. Those are genuine.
There's only a couple people, I think, like with the water drinking thing. I think there's only a couple people he does have
that he trusted.
With.
That was another lifelong friend that was giving him the water. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And to be fair, here's what I think. I think, like Logan said, I think he was having a mental break, or somebody in our chat said he was having a mental break. The defense, literally, Mickey Stein's defense is literally going to push for an EED defense. There's an extreme emotional disturbance, which is basically he temporarily lost his mind. And here's the thing. People were saying that weeks leading up to this, Mickey Stein's was getting extremely irrational. He was saying weird things because Weeks before, he was deposed in Ben Field's criminal trial about raping women in the judge's chambers, and he was threatened. His life was threatened that if you keep talking about this, someone's going to kill you. You better kill yourself, Mickey, or somebody's going to kill your family. And that could have exactly driven him into a state of panic, because he's just like, they're going to kill me. They're going to kill my family. And the media keeps trying to push it off as, oh, he just had a mental breakdown and whatever.
No.
Maybe it's because he was afraid for his life and his family's life, because they literally were telling him they're going to kill him if he keeps talking.
Right. And for I think he was staying in his aunt's house for whatever. I think I came to a conclusion on this, Lee, by the way. I think that the threat of him being at his own home, he was worried about his family being harmed. So he stayed at his aunt's house for a few days. And according to that situation, he didn't even sleep for the past 3 days. So that will cause even more of a psychosis per se in some instances as well. So
yeah,
for this man to do all these things, there's no doubt in my mind he was absolutely petrified he was going to lose his life.
Yeah. And somebody had asked in the chat if wasn't the shooting caught on camera, and yes, it was. The shooting of Kevin Mullins is caught on camera. I think I've got it.
Yeah.
I can show it. I haven't pre-watched this footage, but I'll show it real quick to you. If and again, it's not graphic, so don't worry. This is not going to be graphic.
No, there's no blood nor muzzle flash.
Right, which leads some people to question whether or not it was a staged event, but we'll save that for a different thing. Let me put this on stage real quick. All right. So again, warning. I haven't watched this pre-footage. In the worst footage I've ever seen, there is no blood, but you do see somebody get shot and killed. So that can be disturbing for people. So I haven't pre-watched it. And there's no sound, by the way, of the recording from inside the judge's chamber. So this is the setup. There were people in Kevin Mullins's chambers. Kevin Mullins will be sitting in this chair in the back. He had people that were there with him. And there he is with people in his office. Here comes Mickey Steins. And Mickey Steins will quickly kick everybody out. Earlier in the day, Mickey Steins had gone to lunch with Kevin Mullins and several other people. In fact, they asked him about that in the body camera footage. What were you guys doing? Who was all at lunch? What were you guys talking about? So Mickey tells everybody to leave, and everybody leaves. And Kevin's just kind of like, I guess, nonchalantly taking it.
Yeah, Mullins doesn't look nervous. He's smiling with that goofy face that he has and all that. I don't like him. I'm sorry, but But yeah, he doesn't look nervous. He's very relaxed, smoking away, smiling with the grin that he's got and everything. So there's no account where you would think this is real. I mean,
also earlier it was said, it's on the record, earlier at lunch, there was some conversation somebody overheard between Mickey and Kevin Mullins. And Kevin said, do we need to talk about this privately in my chambers?
Yes.
So this looks to be the follow-on. After lunch, Mickey comes to talk to him privately in his chambers about something. Now you'll see Mickey's already pulled out his cell phone out of his pocket. He kicks everybody out, and then Mickey pulls out his phone and throws it on the table in front of him. We'll keep watching. Again, I never watched this, so we're kind of walking it through for people for the first time that haven't seen this. So a private conversation's happening. Mickey is, it looks pretty casual at this point. And by the way, for FYI, 2:42 p.m. is when this happens. 2:42 p.m. is about the time that LCC, the local high school, is ending their classes. They end classes around this time. Lila, his daughter, is at LCC that day. He says that earlier. When they ask him, is this about your daughter? He says, well, they said, where's your daughter at? He says, LCC. I spoke to her earlier. So many believe Mickey Steins called his daughter right about this time when she's getting off from school. This is when this happens. So that may or may not be the case. I'm just sharing with you what I understand to be the case. So now he's looking out in the hall, right? Making sure they're alone. He locks the door. Now Mickey Steins has bad intentions already.
Wow.
Well, something's coming at least when you see that. And isn't there another part with this where he gets up and he does. He goes the other direction looking that way too.
Yeah, looking out the window. What exactly he's doing? That's a good question. And again, Kevin Mullins doesn't look terribly concerned about anything. Like this doesn't seem to be an antagonistic type conversation yet.
No, he's very comfortable.
He just
very comfortable, casual. Even when later on, when Mickey challenges him for his phone, the judge doesn't seem terribly concerned about it. Now, again, to be fair, and this is for Logan, because Logan likes the psychology part of it, right? Mickey keeps going out and looking out in the halls with that. So is this irrational, paranoid behavior? Because people said Mickey was acting very suspicious prior to the shooting. He was acting irrational and afraid of things. And again, I argue the counter to that is because maybe he was threatened that they were going to kill him if he kept talking about it. So anyways. And by the way, let me give you a couple of pieces of information, but let me take this off screen for just a minute to set this up. Judge Kevin Mullins, allegedly, locals have told me there's a sex tape that exists with Judge Kevin Mullins in bed with Mickey Stein's daughter,
Lila,
and another woman, and that Mickey Stein was shown that video shortly before he came and killed Kevin Mullins. Now, I haven't been able to prove that, and that's not part of the official narrative, but somebody said that that tape exists. A person who had that tape has been killed. That's Jennifer Hill. She may have had that tape, and she was joining the lawsuit of Sabrina Atkins versus Ben Fields, and she just died. Allegedly a drug overdose. People said that she was given a hot shot by law enforcement and drugged up because, hey, she's a fucking junkie. People die. So she died, and the tape has gone missing, and nobody knows where the fucking tape is. But it may be that Kevin Mullins may have been in bed, possibly. But the family denies that. The daughter says that knows stop all these vicious rumors. I had nothing to do with the judge. You know, none of that's happening. It's all untrue. But I would counter to that. If their lives are being threatened to shut the fuck up, they're probably going to shut the fuck up about it. So, and again, at the time, Lila would have been about 16, so she would be underage. I don't know what the age of consent is in Kentucky, but anyways, so let's keep going with that. I need to put it back on screen. So again, there's no audio here.
Trigger warning, folks.
It's still going to be a little ways because he's got to ask for phone. He's going to make some phone calls and ask for some phone calls. I don't know. I mean, they kind of fast forward through some pieces. I don't know if we need to fast forward again. I've never previewed this, so I don't know how long this lasts. It doesn't last terribly long. The shooting is very soon to this.
No, it's not that long. You can let it.
And look, and Mickey Stein's even looks relaxed. Like there's no tension in these two guys at this moment. They're just having a conversation. But
there is
even, yeah.
I was just going to throw in real quick. I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. There is an interesting piece of information about this, though. The word is, I don't know if it's true. There actually is audio on this. There could be, and they took it out when they showed this. So
I think there is audio. Yeah. But I've never heard it.
No, so, me either, and I'd love to.
So I don't know if we need to. I'm going to fast forward with scrub along here to see. Okay, here's where Mickey leans forward. So I did scoop ahead a little. So they're having. I don't know if they're a more agitated conversation, but Mickey's. Look at that. So there is, like, if you read body language, Mickey's and him are having a conversation or something. Yes. I don't think Mickey's totally buying it. He's rubbing his chin. He's like, my interpretation is Mickey's not buying the judge's story or whatever they're talking about.
And Mullins,
and the folded arms across the chest.
Yeah,
he's closing down. He's getting pissed off.
Yeah,
about something,
right. And if you watch Mullins, he's doing stuff like he's making a point and he's going like
he's explaining things
like that's stupid with his head and stuff like that. So yeah,
right. Yeah, so this is where things are apparently getting serious. Now, Mickey Stein pulls out his phone. Who he calls here is the $1 million question. Some people say that he called his daughter, Lila, and attempted to make a call, and it didn't go through. His daughter didn't answer. So the story, many people think, it may not be true, is that he called his daughter, Lila, and she didn't answer. Then he'll ask for the judge for his phone, and he'll call his daughter Lila, and she did answer, and he pulls out his gun and kills the judge. So now who got called and whatever, this is the $1 million question. Some people say there's a FaceTime call on here, and it's not Lila on the FaceTime. So let's kind of watch this. So he makes a call. There's maybe the FaceTime call where there's somebody on the screen.
Yeah. See, that's the one that's supposed to be his aunt, supposedly, from the other piece of info was given.
And then shortly here, I think, and look, Mickey's kind of agitated, right? He's got his hands are kind of bouncing. He's agitated. Again, if you read body language, and of course, hindsight's 2020. We know what's going to happen. So I'm reading into things perhaps. Makes another call. So this is why I was telling you, Dago, when we were talking about this before, by the way, that he may have made more than well, it doesn't look like he's making the call there, that he may have made more than one call. It may have been the FaceTime call and another call. Right. Because here
I
he's
fully agree with you.
Yeah. So he may have made a second call. And that's himself. Is that himself on a selfie? Is he,
yeah, that's why we came to the conclusion that it was the FaceTime thing, because you see that, and then you see what looks like a older woman with somewhat gray hair on the other side of it at some point. But
yeah, he may have tried to FaceTime call his daughter first, and
maybe
Yeah.
It's just the way it looked, though.
All right, let's skip forward a little bit so we can. I don't want to keep everybody here forever. Okay, yeah. So here's where he's been trying to make these calls, and now he asks for the judge's phone. Look how the judge just coughs it up. Okay, here's my phone. So now he's going through the judge's phone. The judge just handed him his phone.
So I guess he's questioning him on his daughter. I guess
it's interesting how he's holding his phone and Mullen's phone together like that too. And
right, it's like he's referencing a phone on one phone and then looking on the other phone. Right.
That's what it looks like.
Now he's like going into his contacts or something to make a call.
Did you see Mullen's face right there? He kind of made that
like what the fuck
like a smile snicker, and he looks down to flick his ass. It was like, what are you doing? And this dude is so smug. I can't stand this guy. God, I mean.
Now Mickey's, I don't know, Mickey's typing in a phone number. It looks like he's typing in a phone number, and they're placing a call.
Right. He did it again, Mullins, with this snicker.
Yeah. Now it looks like Mickey maybe has somebody, like he's talking to somebody. So I think somebody picked up right there.
Right.
And now he's talking to somebody. And then he hangs up. It's a short call, but he got somebody. And now here it comes. He unholstered his gun or pulls his shirt back from his gun. He plans on whatever that phone call was. He got a hold of somebody, and that was it for Mickey.
Yeah.
Now I want to point something out.
Yeah.
Okay. You go any further.
Pause. Yeah.
So as you saw, Mullins tries to get up. Stein says, "Sit your ass down." Whatever it is. At some point, when he goes down after he's shot, watch Mullins' face, folks, as he tries to move around. Okay.
Yeah.
Focus on Kevin Mullins' face and tell me what you guys see.
I know where you're going. I know where you're going with that. Yeah. It happens fast, but
you gotta be carefully watching.
Yeah.
So.
And they might not show much on this. A lot of places don't show the actual.
They blur it out.
Yeah.
You should still see muzzle flash.
So whatever it was with that call, he verified something.
Right. That phone call.
Yeah. That was
what made
that
Mickey
verify. Yeah. That he might. I guess he had a strong.
Yeah. So they're not gonna show it. Yeah.
Yeah.
A bit. I had the original, and
I can get it. I can get it pretty quickly if anybody wants to see it.
I don't know if
Mickey
does show it though, right?
Mickey shoots him a couple times behind the desk. Then he comes around the other side and reaches over the desk and shoots him on the ground. And then he goes and chases him underneath the table. 9 times he shot him. Yeah, shot at him. I don't know if he hit him all 9 times, but.
And the weird thing is, like I said, you don't see any muzzle flash, which I questioned almost immediately. You don't see any blood spatter coming anywhere. And then at some point, what I was going to point out, if it wasn't blurred like that, when Mullins is coming up trying to gain his ground, I guess you could say, after he goes down, he turns and looks, and he has that weird ass smile on his face.
Right. Right. Well, yeah.
It doesn't match. That's all I'm saying to you guys. It's weird. And I'm sorry, I'm talking a lot through this, but I'm really obsessed with this case. And this was what got me obsessed about it, was watching this happen live like this. I'm like, holy shit.
Right.
You don't see stuff like this, And how long did it take him, Lee, to blur this out? Because I remember showing this whole thing live on my show.
Yeah, a lot of people have.
like 15 different times before they finally blurted at some point. So
I mean, certain TV stations blur it and others don't. Most blur it because, and it's not graphic. There's not, I mean, it's graphic in the sense of what happened, but it's not bloody. It's not, but it is disturbing, I guess.
Was he looking for, when he took the judge's phone, was he looking to see if a certain contact was in his phone?
That's a good question, because it seems like he did go to the contacts. Right. It looked like he went to his contacts and then he typed the phone number. So I guess to Logan's point and paying attention to the details, it's not like whoever he called's phone number was in the judge's phone, because maybe he went to look for the contacts, didn't find it, and then manually typed in the number and called it, which would indicate that if he did call Lila from the judge's phone, it wasn't like her number was saved in the judge's phone necessarily, because it looked like he types the phone number in and places the call.
Yeah.
But that's how you would find a contact as well, though.
Yeah, it's true.
Typing their name in. Yeah.
The number, then it would pop up, right? And then you could just click. And I guess if we zoomed in and kind of saw the sequence, did he hit call or did he hit a contact that popped up after he got enough digits of the number?
Yeah, we got to try to do a little closer analysis, I think, on that, or blow it up.
So whatever the case may be, there's rumors out there. There's crazy rumors out there about. I'll tell you some of the rumors that I've heard. These are rumors. There's an attorney who has an office there at that same place. The attorney and the judge and the chief of police from the local city, not the sheriff, but the chief of police, that they would take girls to the bar across the street and they would roofie girls. And then once the girls are intoxicated and roofied up, they would take them across the street into the attorney's office where he had a massage table, and they would rape or molest the women in the attorney's office right there at the courthouse. That they were using an ankle monitoring system to basically coerce women into having sex with them. There were sex parties in which girls were, and mostly these are women that had criminal histories that were put into the system and worked over in the system, and then offered deals, sex for leniency, sex for not going back to jail, sex for getting off of your ankle monitor.
But
they would
also
run this whole scam.
Yeah, don't forget that they were based on what Taya's interview was with Brian. The way she explained it is a lot of them were forced into the criminal life by being fed drugs at a young age to get them into that mode, and like forcing them to do certain things so that they would have to go through this kind of stuff. It's crazy. The
rumors are diabolical. Listen to this. The locals say parents are often arrested on trumped up drug charges that aren't real, and then their children are taken away from them for being drug addict parents while they're in some kind of like rehab kind of program. Yeah. And then the children, once they go into the system, start getting worked over and hooked on drugs. And then their kids are in there for life. And they said they handpick children. They handpick the children they want to groom. They go after the pretty ones or whatever they want. And then they get them hooked on a life of drugs and then pimp them out and use them throughout their whole life. And you just wonder, can that fucking possibly be true? Is that how corrupt that county is? Could it be? I don't know.
At this point, I have no doubts. And there was actually, they did an interview with, I can't ever think of her last name. Her name was Taya. She's the first one that came forward. They also did an interview with somebody she knew that was a CO down there, like a jail guard, okay, that was there for, I think it was 3 months. And when they tried to approach her, and that's the whole point, they try to get everybody that works there involved in this. If you go to one of these sex parties or go to their poker games, or whatever the hell they're doing, once you're involved, you're involved. You can't talk shit on anybody. You can't go out and do this because then you're involved too. And that's what it sounded like to me. And she walked away. She claims that she was approached with it and said no. And she walked away from it and quit her job or whatever it was that happened. Or she was terminated or something like that. But again, this is how they do this. It's crazy, you guys. The whole thing is insane.
Yeah, and Taya has spoken to us before, and she's told her story. I won't go into huge detail. It's her story to tell. But
yeah,
Taya told us that when she was young, I think 16 years old, she got a job working for Kevin Mullins and was forced/coerced into having oral sex with him in his chambers because she expected it. It was something that was expected of her as her job, and that's how she started and that whole thing. So it's crazy.
Yeah, I've seen and heard a lot of things in my life, and I wouldn't doubt any of that, especially a small town. And it,
and that's what That's what I think this case is going to be. I think this case could potentially blow up because I think this goes all the way up. Like, how many people in the county know this? According to locals, everyone in the county knows this is a thing. Everybody knows that this is happening. That law enforcement you can't trust. That they are using women in their sex parties, and the judges involved, and you can't get a fair trial in this country. And everybody's afraid to go anywhere because if the cops get you on their bad radar, you'll just end up dead. Like, this is like a thing that the whole county is terrorized. And then you have to ask, how far up does that go? How many people know that that's a problem in that county and haven't cleaned up the county?
Right. So, and it goes from what I've heard, it goes out beyond Lecher County. It's like out and out and around and surrounding. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough of that depressing news. It's interesting. I guess from the final food for thought was watching the video again of Mickey's behavior. I think it can be a combination of he literally did have a mental break, but it might have been induced because he literally might have been having his life threatened and it made him snap, and he took matters into his own hands. And so,
do we know when his trial is supposed to be, Lee?
No, I don't think they've officially set the date. So it's sometime probably this year, but
I've even heard rumors that the prosecutor, the guy that's prosecuting this, was threatening Mickey in the background as well. When he did his deposition, I do believe that the prosecutor, I think it's the prosecutor. What's the prosecutor's name again?
I'm trying to think. It's escaping me. I had both of the attorneys' names, and now I'm blanking on it.
But this, I think it's the prosecutor that like kind of was like on top of Mickey the whole time. He went to the deposition. He went there with him. He did this, did that, so on and so forth, and he was threatened the whole time. So, is that
in the video?
Rhonda?
It doesn't seem like Rhonda was saying. Like, it doesn't even seem like he's hit. Look, to be fair, like I said, here's the thing with saying. In case you haven't heard it before on our show, let me tell you a reason why some people think the judge actually wasn't shot and it was a staged shooting. Mickey Steins allegedly had gone, like I said, to Kentucky State Police to investigate what was going on in that county, and they didn't investigate. Then allegedly, Mickey Steins went to the Attorney General's office, and they started getting involved. And I do have a video, an audio that I got through Jody of Blevins and Matt Easter from the Attorney General's office interviewing Ben Fields in the back of a car. It's an audio of them interrogating him about his illegal activity with the women in that thing. So they were on the case. And where I'm going with that is, if this did go up higher, let's say it went as high as a governor of the state or something like that. If it went up high enough, somebody like a governor knows that's happening, could somebody have turned state's evidence and said, I'll go into witness protection, you fake my death, and I'll give you all the deets? So could somebody like a Kevin M. Mullins have agreed to fake his death, and maybe even Nikki Steins to fake the death of the judge so that they could get to the higher ups? I don't know. I don't know. I you know how I feel about being shy about witness protection things, but in this case,
it makes sense.
Yeah, it fits. It fits in this.
It actually does.
It really does.
One. And if we were able to watch the video that's not blurred, I'm telling you guys, it took me a while. People pointed out to me after the fact when I watched it so many times. I'm like, wait a minute, you're right. You do not see, and I don't care what, that they was literally like 3 feet from Mullins when he shot him. There was no muzzle flash. There was no blood spatter. There should have been blood spatter coming off of Mullins when the bullet hit. Multiple things that should have been in that video were not there. And it made me start going, what the hell's going on here? It's wild. It's truly wild.
Is there any possible way that something was already going on and somebody gave Stein some sort of substance, like laced something or gave him something or put it in something to make him have a mental break and be acting crazy like that?
Anything's possible, yeah.
Yeah.
He went to lunch and he did get his food when they had their little disagreement, packed up his food and brought it back, and I'm sure he ate it at some point. So somebody could have put something in his food and a drink, anything.
Yeah, he could have been suffering some kind of delusions from a medical kind of situation.
Drug-induced psychosis or something.
I wondered that myself, because of when, like, especially Lee, like when you brought up the point, which is a good one, when he said, "Who's Miranda?" and what, he's the sheriff, for Christ's sakes. You know what this is, and it's that he was too far out.
Yeah, that's a wacky. That's a weird statement.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I am finding
judge has been shot.
The video that has, I was thinking about showing the video because of the questions we keep asking about the muzzle flashes or lack thereof. I will say that you do see the gun buck, you know, and you do see maybe like I was looking at his muscles on his arm and seeing like the concussive reaction of the bullet kind of thing. So it feels like something did happen, but you don't see the muzzle flashes. So it's a good question.
It didn't affect my channel when I showed it, so if that's what you're worried about, I don't.
It's not that. I'm just trying to literally find a video that doesn't. I've got a video, and I feel like it's going to show a lot more. It's not blurred out, but whether they actually show the trigger pulls or not, I'll put it on screen real quick. Again, trigger warning. You might want to put that thing up on screen again.
Yeah. Hold on.
So this is one that doesn't put a gigantic blur on it, so you will see movement. Again, not super graphic, so don't freak out and think you're going to see something horrible, but also, okay, so let's just play this.
There you go.
Oh, see, they stopped it. They stopped it right there. So they're not showing the actual fire, so you couldn't see it. But then he moves around.
Watch Mullen's face.
Yeah, you couldn't see it very well right there. But like, yeah, Mickey reaches over the table and shoots him, and he's still kind of struggling around the ground. And then Mike, he goes under there and shoots him like 6 more times right there.
Mullins doesn't have any blood on him though after he shot.
None.
One.
And
none.
And he's so close. He's so close to the wall too. There should be splatter on the wall. Yeah.
That blanket next to him. He's got a white shirt on. As close as Mickey is to him, there should have been a reflash on that.
There would have been, yeah.
See, look at his face right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's one that shows that face that you're wanting.
It's almost like a grin while he's making that face.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Can I blow it up bigger or not?
Just be his face, you guys. But that, like, I was like, what the hell? It's weird.
It could be a grimace. You know, it could be a pain grimace.
Right. Yeah. People are different.
But yeah, it almost looks like he's smiling. I know you can't probably see it very well right there, but anyways, it's something to consider. And again, while I tend to I don't shy away from witness protection because I don't believe witness protection happens. What I don't want to do is jump to the conclusion all the time that nothing happened, which is we kind of got into a rut for a while where people were like, every fucking thing we talked about was a witness extraction. And I'm like, look, it doesn't happen that often for that to be like every case that we cover is a witness extraction.
No,
but if there was going to be a case for it, this might be one of them.
That
and Luigi Mangione and Brian Thompson's case is another one where the individual could have gone into protection because of the dollar amounts that are involved in the insurance industry. But I don't think that's the kind of thing that could happen. I don't feel in Idaho 4, for example.
No way.
It does happen on rare occasions, and that's a rare occasion because of the way that whole thing played out.
All right, guys, thanks for indulging me on that. Go ahead. You have another question?
No, I was going to say something just in case anybody missed it. While we've been live, Corey Richen's trial, they had a verdict and she was found guilty.
Oh.
What's crazy is she's going to be sentenced on her victim's birthday.
Wow.
That's kind of interesting.
May 13th.
Huh.
Yep.
What did they say? No, it's because they didn't sentence her yet. Okay.
Tell me the gist of that. I'm not familiar with the story. What's the Cliff Notes version of the crime and the significance of the conviction?
She poisoned her husband. I think she tried it more than once, and the first time didn't work, and then he ended up passing. But then she acted like the victim and wrote a kid's storybook about how it is when you're a kid and you lose your parent. And then she went on like the Today Show type of thing for writing this book, and and she's the one who killed him.
Like the audacity of that, right?
Yeah.
It's just like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Nuts. So you think it's justice served that she got convicted? Yeah.
Oh yeah. On that one, yep. Absolutely.
What about, let's talk about other cases. Anything new in Idaho 4? Yes, there is something new. There was a new document that dropped today, and I haven't even had a chance to look at it. Actually, it was from yesterday. I think the document dropped yesterday. Was it? Did you guys hear about this with another WSU one? It was a WSU document in the WSU lawsuit.
Oh, then no, I didn't know.
Okay, I haven't had a chance to look at it, so I'm just bringing it up in case you guys have. But somebody put it on my Discord channel saying it was a new WSU filing.
No, I
hold
haven't
on.
read it.
Stand by. We're not going to read it live, but I will see if I can pull it up on screen for you real quick.
The only one I know of is and this is not from the WSU one, this is just the regular one, is that the state is trying to block some more unsealing because they don't want FBI information to be let out when FBI information has already been let out. So really, I think they're just trying to block whatever's in those documents specifically. Because what did the FBI have to do with? The DNA.
Yeah, and to clarify that, I think what you're talking about, to clarify that for those who don't know, is
that's
Hippler's
thing.
There was like 11 documents that listed the FBI in them.
And
the state had moved to continue to keep under gag the officers, the FBI officers' involvement in some of these reports. And Hippler's response was something to the effect of, 5 of those reports have already been released, and so we're not going to go back and retroactively take the names out of it. So that's just done. And then the 6 that are remaining or whatever, he agreed that they will keep them redacted so that the officers' names aren't in there. But half the cat's out of the bag anyways, because half the documents have already been released. So it's probably the same officers in those other documents. And so, they'll redact the names, but it'll probably be the same officers. Yeah. Or the agents, same agents. I shouldn't say officers, but... Yeah, and that case is interesting. What else do we got? I'm trying to think of the other cases to see if there's any updates. Delphi, Indiana, Richard Allen's case. We're still waiting for news about the appeal. And I think, by the way, I think I've said this before, but I think I incorrectly said that we're going to find out if they're going to do anything about the appeal. I think what it is that due now, now, like this week or next week, is the state's response to the appeal. Yeah. So an appeal
by the 30th.
By the 30th of the month?
Yeah.
Okay. So they've got to the state has to formally respond to, the counter. So it's going to be a judge is going to look at both cases, right? So the defense has said this was a bullshit trial. We're appealing it, and the prosecution is going to have to say the opposite, which is no, it was totally legit. It happened exactly the way it was supposed to, and you should ignore their request for an appeal. And then after that, a judge is going to have to, an appellate court is going to have to review it and decide whether or not it's something they want to do something about. So we're a ways out still on that one. Let's see, what else do we have? Rex Heuermann's case, Law and a Serial Killer case. I don't think there's anything new in Rex's case right now. His trial should be starting this year. Is there something new?
I was going to say, I think, not that we do, we've covered it a little bit. I think there's supposed to be something with Charlie Kirk.
That's what I was
Tyler.
thinking.
I think that's coming up.
Yeah, Tyler Robinson's. I heard about this. Tyler Robinson's.
Something's coming up with that.
Yeah.
There's something. There's something. I think it's towards the end of March.
Let me see if I can find that out real quick. I gotta.
Wasn't there something new that came out with Nancy? Can't remember. I swear I heard. Oh, no, it's not. It was just a statement made by the sheriff. Anyway, sorry.
I'm doing a little Google foo or whatever to see if Tyler Robinson's case has an update here real quick. Tyler Robinson is charged with prosecutors have announced they intend to seek the death penalty. We know that already. March 2026. The case had a major procedural hearing this week. Robinson's lawyers tried to restrict the media access. We already knew about that. That didn't seem like this week.
Yeah.
Tony Graff denied most of the requests, meaning the case will remain largely open to the public. Yay! Tony Graff, by the way, I wish we could all cheer Judge Tony Graff. That guy has made it clear from day one, we will have a fair trial, and Tyler Robinson will have a fair trial. We're not going to railroad this fucker like they do so many times. I like Tony Graff, probably because he's a newer judge, and so he doesn't know better, and he hasn't been slapped into slapped down by his colleagues. But the defense must file a redacted version of their motion by March 30th. So that's one thing that's coming up. They've got to file a redacted version of their request to seal things and keep it out of the public.
And then the evidentiary hearing,
April 17th. Yeah.
Yep.
What else? What other cases do we follow? We've talked about Noah Pressgrove. Anything with the family's lawsuit for wrongful death and Noah Pressgrove's case?
Well, And in this evidentiary hearing, I get to hopefully hear some arguments on Terry stops.
And you might want to cover that.
I was late now.
What about Luigi? Anything new on Luigi?
Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi. I want to say there is something new, and shame on me for not knowing it. Hold on, let me see if I can pull. I'm going to do this real quick. How about let's do this together? I'm going to pull up on screen LuigiMangioneInfo.com, which is the official website of Luigi Mangione. And this is his case updates. So Friday, May 18th is going to be a court case in the People versus Mangione in the state case. September is the next docket date for the federal case against Luigi Mangione, and in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, no date whatsoever. Last letter filing from the federal case was in March 6th, so that doesn't look like anything new. There's a February 5th in the state case. That's nothing new. So on the website, at least, I don't see any real new traction, and that the next court date on the People versus Luigi is May 18th. I don't know if anybody else who follows Luigi's case knows of something new, but I don't think there's been any new filings that I know of.
Interesting.
Great questions. And Luigi Mangione's case is going to be really an interesting one. His legal team, how do I say this? His legal team, which is a blockbuster legal team, and by the way, I need to take this off screen because that's not doing us any good.
You confused the shit out of me is what you just did.
I bet I did. So Luigi's legal team has done a masterful job for their client, Luigi Mangione. One, they got first-degree murder in the state case, first-degree murder in the furtherance of an act of terrorism. They got that removed because the judge agreed with the defense's excellent written report that wasn't terrorism and you can't call him a terrorist. And so therefore you need to drop first-degree murder. So now he faces second degree. And that was a massive win for Luigi Mangione. And then another massive win they won is they got the judge to drop the charges of the death penalty on the federal case that she said they can't put him to death. And that was a massive thing. So now Luigi Mangione has gone from being potentially executed for what happened to life in prison without the possibility of parole, which by some extent, that's a big win, right? The client gets to live. So they want a huge victory for him. Go ahead.
I just wanted to ask, because we've never talked about this since I've been over here. We've talked a little bit about him, but not like in depth. But like, I'm just curious, like with all of us in here, like what each one of your thoughts are about Luigi. Do you think Luigi's the one? Do you think he did it? And
I'd love to hear that. We've never asked Logan that question.
No,
like, how about you start, since you and I haven't talked about it? What do you think?
Well, in the beginning, of course, watching the video, I was like, yeah, he shot him. It is what it is, but you don't see his face. We don't know it's him. And then off he goes. So when I saw the other stuff that came forward from this after the fact, I started to question it because of what we do here. And now with everything that's happened the way it has, I'm not sure. I'm truly, honestly, and being real and about the whole thing, I'm not sure because of the things that we know now, if he's the one that did this, and if he and why, the whole why behind it, why he wouldn't be the one that did it, if not, and so on and so forth. So
your mind is an open book trying to find out if Luigi even did it.
Absolutely.
Before we move on to Logan and Robin and one, let me ask you this. If you find out he did do it, do you have any certain kind of feelings about how the larger implication is? So let me give you the real quick thing about that. Some people view Luigi Mangione as a man of the people who shot an abusive system that was abusing people through their medical practices and using AI to reject claims. Do you think that fuck him, if he shot somebody in the back, he's a cold-blooded murderer and he should spend the rest of his life in jail and there's no question? Or do you have certain kind of mixed feelings about that at all? Have you heard anything about jury nullification option? Those kind of things. And
so, in my opinion, and this kind of goes in line with my feelings on the Charlie Kirk situation, okay? I didn't know Charlie Kirk. I had no feelings towards, against, or for Charlie Kirk because I just didn't know I knew who he was, but I never followed him or anything like that. So, same with this situation. You do not have the right, I don't care what the situation is, to take a human life. That's my opinion. Granted, Brian, whatever his last name is, I can't think right now. I'm sorry.
Thompson,
I don't mean that.
yeah.
Thompson.
Brian
Sorry.
Thompson, yeah.
I couldn't remember it, but yeah. Thompson. I should have remembered that. Whatever he was doing, I don't agree with it. It's wrong. I was fighting on the phone with my doctor's office today because of things that are probably because of that situation and the things that the man's done. Granted, okay, but there are other ways that that's supposed to be dealt with. You don't just kill somebody because you're upset because of things they've done. That's why we have the court systems as fucked up as they are and law enforcement. Okay, I get it, but you don't have the right to take somebody's life because of those feelings. I know people buck me because of that. That's just my feelings. So
fair. And Logan, I feel like I'm handing you a gigantic shit sandwich asking you this question, but how much do you know about Luigi Mangione and the Brian Thompson shooting, and do you have any certain feelings about it at all?
I think I know more than average.
Mm-hmm.
I have the opposite feelings as Dago. I didn't think it was him at the very, very beginning.
Yeah.
I didn't think the pictures matched completely. I thought it was.
you mean the video from behind?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think I saw it was like a video, but then I think I saw a bunch of stills from it and stuff, and they like people were trying to match this and that or whatever.
And probably the hostile image where they showed him lower his face mask, and that doesn't look like Luigi to a lot of people. And
no, it doesn't. I agree with that.
Yeah. So all of that, I just didn't think that it was 1,000% him from the beginning. I don't know why. The whole him, nobody knew where he was at for 3 months before that. Just all of that is so strange to me. It doesn't sit right with me for some reason.
So when you didn't believe that initially that it was him, have you changed your mind and you're more convinced today that he probably was the guy or not?
No.
No, you still have reasons to believe that you don't think Luigi was the actual shooter? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. I think it's possible that he's not, or they wanted it to look like him, so they had somebody that kind of could resemble him do it, but then he was going to be the person to be in jail and fight the case for it. But he was already trained and everything on that when he disappeared for 3 months.
Fair. And I don't want to put you on the spot. I'll ask one follow-on question before I throw it to Robin. And if you want to duck it like a fucking toddler in a fist fight, then that's
Before
fine.
you
But,
do that, do that, can I say one quick thing to add to this?
Yeah.
What Logan just said, you guys, the 3 months missing. Remember something, and I'm just showing a parallel, I believe, with the Idaho 4 case. Remember when I pointed out what Michael Koberger said about when Brian disappeared for a period of time? He had no idea where he went.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying, and I'll leave it there.
Yeah. The only question I was going to ask you, Logan, is when Luigi Mangione was allegedly picked up in Pennsylvania and allegedly had the gun and a passport and money and a notebook detailing his complaints against the health insurance industry, do you feel that that's legitimately Luigi's stuff? Do you feel it was planted? If it was legitimately his stuff, does it change your mind that he may have been the shooter? Or what is your thought on that, if you want to dare go there?
I think it's laughable. I think it's, so you're telling me that this kid who did this shooting is going to carry the whole kit around with him the whole time?
Right.
Just waiting. What is he doing? Waiting for them to arrest it? Like,
right.
Here I am. Come get me.
Come on.
I thought it was weird too, because he literally supposedly had gloves in the backpack, but he didn't wear gloves during the shooting. Like, what? So you're gonna have gloves to keep your fingerprints off the gun, but then you're gonna not wear them during the shooting. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things that don't make sense to me too. And you're right. At some point, it felt a little laughable. Like, are you really want us to buy all that? But like, yeah.
I feel like what they do is they take people and train them to be the person to go through the trial and go to jail and to get the intel in the jails and stuff like that. But the person who actually does it, I think, is a different person. And they just try and have it resemble the person who's going to go through the trial and the jail stuff. Wow,
that's a really deep concept to talk about someday, because that is that's bigger than we can talk about on the show at the moment. But that's a very interesting discussion to have sometime about whether or not there's an ulterior motive to have somebody else go through the system that isn't the actual shooter. And that could be the same kind of situation on a Tyler Robinson. It could be you could apply that to a lot of different cases. Even a Brian Koberger, the person going to jail may not be the person who actually committed the crime, and that might be planned. And so that's a good topic to do something.
We should do a show on that one time.
Yeah. All right, Robin, you've been waiting patiently to have 2 words to say tonight. What do you think? Do you have any thoughts? I mean, you've been talking about it a long time with me, but
I don't think that he's the one that actually did the shooting, because now I realize that we're saying, he disappeared for about 3-4 months or whatever, but I don't know how familiar he was with weapons, because that person just nonchalantly cleared the jam and continued on with their shooting. And I realize this is just like my gut instinct on this, but he does not appear to be that kind of a cold cat, because he's got a temper. If you see him he's got a temper. I think he could very well be involved some way, shape, or form. I don't think he's the actual shooter, just based on the fact that, to our knowledge, now I could be totally wrong, that he didn't have that kind of weapons experience to just do that on, just do it alive, clear that jam and just continue on. And so that's my thoughts on that.
And it's funny because it's one of the first things I said about this case is I felt that what if Luigi was a decoy, that the actual shooter got away scot-free, and that if Luigi was there at the park and rode out the other side of the park, it may not have been the same person who rode into the park. Like literally the person rode into Central Park and disappeared off camera for quite some time. They found a bag of clothes, and then somebody leaves the park in the same general description, and they assume that's the same guy. But they lost him long enough where they could have done a switcheroo, and the actual shooter could have changed out of his clothes and walked out of the park the other direction, and everybody would watch the guy that looks the same riding out of Central Park in a different direction. So could have Luigi been involved as a decoy and not the actual shooter? Because there's a lot of people who don't believe Luigi Mangione has it ended to be the actual shooter, but somebody else could have been, and maybe he helped the shooter get away, or maybe he was unwittingly a patsy, or who knows. But it was one of the first things I asked is what if the real shooter got away?
There was a few rumors flying around when this first dropped, and I heard that that some people believe there was 3, 4, maybe even 5 people involved in Luigi, the person himself, being involved, as far as somebody shooting, somebody taking off on a bike, somebody being seen in a park, somebody else being seen here, and then the McDonald's person. So it's
Right. And I've made the allusions to the movie, which was based, it's a fictional movie called How to Blow Up a Pipeline, where a group of 20-year-old-ish ideologues got together and decided that they were going to commit an act of terrorism against a pipeline. And in that movie, they all agreed one of them would take the fall so that the rest of them can get away and do it again. So could it have been a scenario, could it have been a scenario like that, where a group of people conspired together, pulled off of the assassination, and then let somebody go down for it. And maybe they even have a get out of jail free card that eventually is going to be proven that they couldn't have been the one to pull the trigger, and everybody else got away with it. So who knows?
That could explain, like, putting multiple people into this position as one person to throw the entire thing off. That way, there's no way you could possibly prove it based on fingerprinting, and then this, and then that, and then this. And that by the end of it, there's no way you can't prove it. He did it because there's too many discrepancies within all of these people being involved in it, which would be an amazing plan. So,
yeah. All right, 1-1. Keep in mind, we only have a half hour left, so don't take 45 minutes. Otherwise, Dig will have to slap that 4 hours later.
Hours later.
No talking about.
I'm just getting started.
When you talk Luigi, you want to talk Terry for stops.
Oh,
anyways, yes. What are your thoughts on
it? It definitely seems like there's some fuckery that went on. JJ has brought up a bunch of times, I agree with him, that, the video shown of the shooting, it just seemed too, like just too perfect of it, how it came, how it came about. I don't necessarily think that things were planted in his bag, but the fact that there is something there. He's right. He's part of like this gamers group and the Monopoly money and all this other crazy shit. There's something else going on. This isn't.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
There's too much going. It's not. Is it believable that someone could be someone, if someone gets angry enough and they get pushed to a certain and they don't care whether they get arrested or killed or whatever, sure, you can push one person to do almost anything if they get to a certain level. But with all these other weird like things, like who is like going around with Monopoly money and stuff like it's just wacky shit.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. I mean, I can't wait to see how the Luigi case pans out. I'm watching it still, and I will break down probably more legal documents as we get further into it. It's one of the things I enjoy doing, even though it's funny when people say, I watch so and so because they actually cover legal documents. Like, I cover legal documents all the time. But anyways, let's do
legal
this.
Documents. Do they want to rewatch our analysis of the Terry stop?
Oh my God, we've done a ton of legal. I've read so many legal documents on air, and I've highlighted major sections and read it, and I broke it down and analyzed it. Robin, if you want to throw the link to the backstage, we got enough time where we could take a caller if somebody wants to come up and join the panel and ask a question. If not, fire your question into the chat. Well, let's focus the last few minutes. We've got another 15 minutes or so here on some kind of viewer channel question from either one of our three channels that are co-streaming this, or from somebody who wants to come backstage. If you guys, by the way, want to post that invite link to your chats, you could do that as well. Maybe somebody will take us up on it and join us on stage to ask a question. So we'll give it a couple minutes to see if anybody wants to join us on stage and ask a question live. You don't have to show your face. If you want to keep your thumbnail on, you can not turn on your camera, and you'd be perfectly fine to have only your microphone working. So try not to be so camera shy. We don't bite anybody's heads off. While we're waiting for a guest to see if they're going to appear, watch your guys' chats. Tell me if you guys see anything, or tell me what you guys want to talk about for the last 15 minutes if nobody bites. Fantastic.
All right, so here we go. We got 4 levels of stops. We got 3 in Pennsylvania.
I'll
start going.
Here we go. Terry stops here. 4 levels. Someone says I watched JJ last night with the attorney girls and Ron.
Queens.
The custody queens. Yeah. JJ was absolutely amazing and displayed his true intelligence. Yeah, they loved him. The custody queens loved having JJ on. And in fact, the custody queens would like to get JJ and myself on together to talk about Delphi, Indiana. So that's one of the things they're working on right now. Looks like we've got the defense rest, Jody from Australia, joining us on here. I don't know if she missed or not. We'll find out. We talked a lot about Lecher County just at the beginning of the show for the first hour and 15 minutes. Hey, Jody, are you there?
Hello, I'm here. Can you hear me?
I can.
Hello.
Did you check the first part of the show out, or did you miss all that?
I missed it. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. Well, see you later. Catch up on the live, and we'll talk you later.
I did watch the stream.
No delay tonight. That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, we were talking in depth. The panel, Logan had seen some of that footage for the first time, and Logan was asking the question. So we broke it down a lot and showed her some about whether Mickey was faking some kind of psychosis. Was he faking, being confused about Miranda rights and things like that, or was he genuinely terrified? And I think Logan came to the conclusion that looks like he was genuinely terrified. It doesn't mean he wasn't having a breakdown, but he was genuinely terrified.
It's a little from column A, little from column B. I think he was definitely paranoid, definitely scared, and possibly in shock, as you say. But I don't think he was having a schizophrenic or psychotic episode, so to speak.
No, I think he did. He was shell shocked, I think. And I think he probably had high amounts of anxiety leading up to the shooting because he had been threatened and things like that.
Absolutely. And then he also knows what involvement those people around him have in all of that. And that's got to play on his, on what's going on.
And look, you know as much as anybody, Jody, that whole, you talk to the locals in that county and they have stories about officer involved murders or cover-ups of murders all over the place. And so if Mickey Steins knows that's the kind of people that work, that his coworkers, he's going to be afraid of his own coworkers. Like
absolutely,
he may know some pretty dark individuals.
Interestingly enough, too, when I first started covering the case, sorry, I had a couple people that had popped in. One that lives on the other side of the mountain, and then one that lives right outside of Whitesburg. She told me that said that these things, like you said, are known to the entire community inside and out, and it's been going on forever. So it's crazy. It's crazy to me.
That's why predators are so prolific there, because there is no consequences. There was something I read a couple of days ago where it showed that I think 70% of the actual predators there have come in to Kentucky from outside, like, because it's the perfect place to
be.
It's ridiculous.
Because there's so much corruption, and they'll look the other way, or
That's why I really would love to interview Taya on my channel and just
she would love it. Absolutely,
let her tell her story. I really would love to do that.
I found out who the trooper was, whose video body cam footage it is, and the bald guy that you call Brandon. His nickname's Randy Combs or Coombs.
Oh wow!
And the other guy, it's Trooper Stacy Trotter, whose body cam footage you're watching.
Maybe that's why we couldn't find Brandon.
Yeah. So Brandon's name is actually what you said?
Randy Combs, Combs.
Oh,
there we go.
And what do you know about? Tell me what you know about them. What have you found out?
Randy is apparently part of the high intensive. Hang on, let me read my source's message.
Nice.
AKA Brandy. So he was.
Oh, but before you get too far, real quick, for what Jody's saying, again, she's got locals who went to school with these people.
Yeah.
So when Brandy, who's been on Jody's show a ton, right? When Brandy sees those videos, she's like, I know that guy. Like, I went to school with that guy. She knows these people. She doesn't have to guess who they are. She knows who they are.
So he, and then she tells me what he's done for her as well. But so Stacy Trotter, the boxing reference, because I actually Googled that and came up with someone else with the boxing reference, but it's actually Stacy Trotter, and he had apparently a home gym, and a bunch of the boys would go and hang out and lift weights and do MMA style stuff, and Mickey would go and lift weights there while Trotter did fights, but he got into a bit of an issue apparently with some steroids, and
Trotter or Mickey Stein?
Trotter, yes. Yeah. And then Randy is apparently a no nonsense, no shit kind of guy, as you can probably tell by his posturing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And where is it? He's.
It's funny you said that, Jody, because I was going to make mention. We were watching a video earlier when Randy or Brandon, whatever, is standing there over like in front of Mickey. He's kind of got that puffed out chest. Like, overbearing, standing there, and you can definitely read it.
He's got a little penis.
It comes with a little dick syndrome, apparently, but
that's hilarious.
So he was part of the special conflict resolution team or something, or high conflict. But
oh yeah, got you.
So did you feel that Mickey was afraid of him or not?
Yeah,
definitely.
Because they'd had issues, like, as I said, he'd gotten in trouble for something. Blah.
And it sounded like they did know each other. They knew each other.
Oh, they all,
back in the day. Yeah, like
I think they all did.
Yeah. And do you know what? It's funny. I was actually, Taya got on stream the other night and went absolutely off her rocker. I think the ATV accident with the girl who died has sort of triggered a few memories for her because of her, her story from her childhood.
Right.
And yeah, she lost it a bit. And I was leading somewhere with that.
If you get it back, great. Hopefully I won't derail you. I wanted to take a moment because Logan was kind of newish to this story and asked questions and stuff like that. And I don't remember, Logan, have you ever met Jody from the Defense Rest? Have you guys ever been on stage together at all?
I don't think so.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Jody's from Australia. She saw me covering the case and she was like, holy shit, like I've got locals that we talk to all the time. And she's had a bunch of these girls on from the county and stuff like that. And I did fly out there and meet some of the locals myself and heard their stories. Again, I was at Sabrina Atkins' case against Ben Fields and the civil case and stuff like that. So I've been working with Jody a lot. I can't think of what it is you could ask her, but I want you to take the opportunity while you have Jody here, because she is a font of knowledge of this case. If there's any questions you have, this would be a great time. But
I do want to know, other than the key players, the judge and Steins, right? What would you say are the top three like underlying key players?
Daniel Dotson.
Yeah, that's it. That's the name right there. Sorry,
the attorney. Yeah, Daniel Dotson. Yeah.
Thank you, Jody.
And what's his role?
He is or was the Commonwealth District Attorney, I think, like the top, and he covered all the family court stuff. He's partially retired now.
You remember that? Remember I told you the story about an attorney that supposedly went to lunch with them and would roofie girls and whatever. That name is right there.
He's the person that threatened Mickey as well. He's the one that told him that to go and hurt himself and give him all his money. And he's also the one that, and not in his professional capacity, was present during Mickey's deposition because he wanted to keep an eye on to make sure. So he had that pressure as well.
Major player, ma'am.
Yeah, and then it goes up the chain basically. So
great question. What other name? She asked for three. You gave her one. Who else?
Yeah, major players. Well, the other judge, Judge Kraft, for sure.
Yep.
And he's still practicing as a judge, right?
Yes, he is. Yep.
And he's the circuit court judge.
Yes.
Right.
So he was the felony judge upstairs, still is. But he's also seeing now family court stuff as well, which is just ridiculous. And
what's his role in the case, though?
That's complex.
But Mickey's case, just complacency, I think, just being part of the whole.
Knowing what was going on and not doing
anything.
I was going to say, unless you did a better job, I was going to say, I would just summarize it as they were all friends. Like the judges, Kraft and Mullins were friends with the sheriff and all the police, and that was a whole circle. And apparently they played poker together, and they all knew what was going on.
They're not all involved in the sex stuff, like all the sex parties and stuff. That was a Kevin thing, like that was his main thing. But the rest of them had their hands out in the pockets because it was a financial gain as well. And that's where Mickey was involved. He had the financial gain from all that. It basically comes down to what I can see is the federal funding under the Title IV funding, because they get so much of it, more than any other states from what I'm finding in the auditing. And
I don't mean to interrupt you, Jody. Was Judge Kraft involved in the sex circle as well, or was he on the outside of it? Okay.
No, he was more financial, I believe.
Thank you.
But
he did get involved indirectly with the fact that they would share Ben Fields, the bailiff, who would like put people on ankle monitoring system. That he was working in Kraft's courtroom as well as Kevin Mullins' courtroom, because they would kind of interchange if they would needed to and whatever. So I think he had interaction with him as well.
Fun fact. Did you know that the state actually has the funding? They actually get funding for the ankle monitor program itself, and they don't offer it to the inmates.
Because if they offer to the inmates, then they can't use that.
Right, they can't use it as a coercion tool to say, "Oh, you can't afford this," because the state would find a way for them to afford it if they couldn't afford it. But if they don't give the girls the option, then they think that they have to pay $85 a week to stay on ankle monitor. If they don't have it, they got to work out a deal.
Can they
Correct.
reacclimate that money, do you know, Jody, for something different or pocket it maybe if they get
Well,
that funding?
they do get all the funding. And I found out that the actual the jailer, so Bert Sloan, they have a huge role pretty much. Once it comes down from federal government through the fiscal court system, he pretty much has the authority on where that gets delegated to. So all of that Schedule 4 funding through the fiscal court, and that whatever grants they want, whatever program they create to apply for that grant, goes into that pool and gets allocated pretty much from the jailer. So yeah.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. Stein's daughter, was she in the court system or ever in trouble or part of any?
I'm not aware of that. She's come forward obviously and said that, you know, she had no involvement with the judge,
Right.
but I've heard different stories, but there's nothing that I can confirm. So yeah, I don't know. Don't really know much about that. I mean, she's gorgeous. Have you seen her? She's just stunning.
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's pretty,
I'm
very
gonna
pretty
Google
girl.
her now.
But then speaking to Brandy and Tyre about the witness protection thing as well, because I said, well, that would mean they wouldn't know, and they said, "I know, she knows." So I don't know.
Can you since she had Jesus, I just went brain dead. Logan's question. It made me think of something else. Can you shine any light on the I don't know what his actual title is, the pastor that was involved slightly in this? He knows what I mean. Yeah.
Pastor, yeah. So he absolutely is involved. We initially thought, well, the theory is that he's a plant, but I don't know. He was the person in the car with Mickey who went out just before the shooting, and they had, because him and Mickey used to do like food deliveries for the community, so the free meals, they deliver them. And that day they got called out to one who was apparently a regular customer, and it was taken to they were instructed to go to a different address, which was up in the bush somewhere, and that's where Mickey's life was threatened. So Michael Clark was with him. Now, whatever went down there, he was the last person to be with Mickey alone. When they came back, that's when he kicked everyone out and locked the door. And Michael didn't stop him. Yeah?
Right.
He knew that was going on. He did not try and prevent Mickey from doing anything. So, but no, since then it's documented that he was interviewed and made a statement, but that information I cannot find anywhere.
Right.
And he was actually then shipped out and given his own ministry.
So he's been erased, basically.
Yeah, he's been hidden. Yeah, for sure.
Interesting.
Real quick, while I have you on real quick, and then we probably need to close up because we always should go about this time. But I want to ask you a question while you're on, Jody. Let me see if I can pull this up. Add to stage. This is a still frame from and it's a replay of our earlier thing, but it's a still frame of the courtroom. There's two women in there, and I want to know if you know their names of these women, because Mickey Stein's mentioned about two names, LaShonda and are those the girls, the girls that worked at the sheriff's office?
I think that LaShonda's in there, and I think there's Lena.
Christine Bowling, I think, was the other name.
Christine Bowling. Well, okay, so Christine Bowling is the lady that took Mickey to the doctor the day before this, and she's also rumored to have been having an affair with him as well for years.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Can this story get any thicker?
Oh, yeah.
I think the one that was sitting in the seat that Mickey came in and sat down in is LaShonda Lee.
Well, we've got her deposition.
Blonde one?
And the other one, I think, was
blonde one right there. That's
right
LaShonda.
Yeah.
I can definitely find
that's
out
not Christine. That's not Christine Bowling back there in the back.
Christine Bowling's an older lady, apparently.
Yeah. The reason why I ask is Mickey said that he hinted that both Christine and LaShonda were there. It sounded like when the shooting happened, and then they were gone. And so I wanted to know if those were those two girls or not.
I think they were the two women that actually took him to the doctor the day before. But LaShonda, I've got her deposition, and I think the other lady was Lena Hensley or one of the administrative staff, I believe.
I think you're right.
But I can definitely confirm. But she was actually working. This Lena chick was working under Ben as well, as doing a lot of his administrative stuff, and I know someone who worked alongside her, and apparently she used to brag and joke all the time about this funding and how it was such a scam and where, you know what I mean? Like just
wow, crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and look, I've been working with Jody, and I don't know how to, present it to the audience, but there's a money angle to this, like there's so much corruption. Like, how do you narrow down where the corruption begins? But there's a money angle where the people who own the prisons also own the pharmaceutical companies, also own that prescribe the drugs that put prisoners on. They're working every single angle of the system where they financially benefit by putting people in prison and keeping them drugged up and in the system.
Yep.
Yeah, and so
100%, because it goes right back to the coal mining days. Like once that dried up, they needed the families that were extremely wealthy wanted to obviously keep that income coming, and so they've constructed it in such a way that they claim all of this Title IV funding and double dip on it a lot as well, and that becomes a pool where they'd all benefit from it. Do you know what I mean? So every program, every drug court, every rehab center, those people that were wealthy purchased all of the big land items like the schools, the hotels, the courthouse, the medical centers. They own the properties, and then the pharmacist owns all of the pharmacies and the contract to the hospital. So they've got it sewn up. So it's you can't beat them. It's everywhere. The only way to get them is through their money. I think.
Insane. That whole county is insane. All right. Well, Jody, thanks for coming up. I wish you could have been here for the first hour. It would have been very cool to have you there. I know
Thank you very much.
I feel like you and I have a lot of work that we're going to be doing together in the future. So we're just at the very beginning of this. I mean, you've been at it for a long time, but I know that you and I think have a road to go down together. Thank you for coming on the show tonight. I'm going to go ahead and dismiss you and say goodnight with my panel. It was great hearing from you again. And
thank you,
we'll
Jody.
Keep going. Thank you so
no
much.
worries. Oh, Andy
Bashir.
Andy Bashir, Logan.
What's that? Andy Bashir? What? Bashir?
Your third name, Andy Bashir.
Andy Bashir. Yeah, the third name, right? Yeah. She asked for three. There was Andy Bashir was the other name. Yeah.
Yep.
Too much for one night, but yeah, thank you so much. Appreciate it very much. All right, let's see. So let's go around the horn saying our good evenings. It's been a crazy show with a lot more about Lecher County than I expected, but we did touch on some other topics. So let's go 1-1 Robin, Dago, and then Logan, and then I'll close this out for the night. So go ahead, 1-1. What do you got for closing?
All right. Thanks, everyone, for showing up. Love the panel, all of our mods working together each and every night. You know, you guys come here. There's all these different, topics that come up, but it is nice to have a break from Idaho 4 sometimes. That there is other light out there besides Idaho 4, although we do want to know what happened in Idaho 4, and we're still into that, but there are other things going on as well. So great stuff. And Lee, if you do get a chance, I know you're super busy, but last night's show that we finished covering Princess Diana, it really was an excellent show from everyone. We really had a good time. So
nice. Yeah, thank you so much for you guys doing those things. Those are really amazing. And yeah.
All right. So great discussion and everything. We love you guys and appreciate all the support, and we'll see you tomorrow. And I will give you my movie quote here.
All right, I'm ready.
You guys are ready.
Movie trivia.
Good one.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Let's go.
All right, Dago should get like a handicap here, but
I haven't been getting them lately, so
I was just say we've been
We've
been holding our own.
You will know this one like probably within 3 seconds, but all right, ready?
Yep.
I met him 15 years ago. I was told there was nothing left, no reason,
Halloween.
no conscience.
Halloween.
Dago got it. No understanding, and even the most rudimentary sense of life or death, of good or evil, right or wrong. I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face, and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
What do you put something up on the screen there? Oh, there you yeah.
You picked my favorite movie of all time. Like, that was not even fair to anybody.
Did you guys
there you
see
go. Just a little side note. You'll love this. So after my first date with my wife, when I went back to her house, guess what we did?
Watched Halloween.
We watched Halloween.
Okay, good. I didn't know where you were going, but okay.
That's why you're married, by the way, because I learned that there's a psychological principle that fear, it makes the brain feel like love, and so if you can scare the shit out of your date, they tend to feel more attracted to you. So good tip for all the guys out there: scare the piss out of the date.
It makes sense. Makes sense.
Just so you know, the first movie that my current wife and I watched together was Halloween, and it has to be John Carpenter's Halloween, the original from 19.
Well, I was going to ask, what did you guys think about Rob Zombie's reboot of the young Michael Myers?
I liked it.
I did
because
too.
it was a little more. It told more of the story. It gave it more background, and it was more realistic.
Yeah.
The second one was horrifying and horrible and stupid. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
So the first one that he did was pretty good because he kind of, although that's one of the great things about the original is the mystique, and you don't know what's behind it. Although it was cool, like kind of a different take. But what I will say, my biggest critique. So not to go long-winded. I never go long-winded, right?
No,
no. My first issue.
I was later.
Yeah. Although I do love Rob Zombie and a lot of his songs.
Yes.
So you have a formula, right? In Halloween, like, you could there's a lot of different stories you can do and take it in all different directions. You can't really fuck with the music. And he changed the music just a little too. I know he is into the hard rock. He changed it a little too much.
Yes.
And there's certain scenes that he should have just kept kind of to the original. And I think it would have been better.
Yes.
And my second big critique, there's one character in Halloween that you cannot fuck with. And although the actor that he has in the new one, what the hell is it? It's the guy from Clockwork Orange.
Tyler Mane.
He's a great, amazing actor, and it's not his fault. It's the script that was there. They fucked with Dr. Loomis, and you cannot fuck with that character. That he is such an important.
Oh, you're talking about Dr. Loomis's character. Yeah, I know who you mean, and that was Malcolm McDowell. That was a big mistake.
That's it. Malcolm McDowell, who is an amazing actor, and I don't blame him. It's the script. You can't. I know you want to make your own take and your own little side, and I get it, but that's music. The music you can't fuck with, and that Dr. Loomis character is essential. And I think he just messed with it too much.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's. I feel like Logan's gonna kill us if Bronx doesn't get to go take a pee, and if we take any longer, she's gonna revolt on us. Oh, good. Oh, good. Good. Then we'll take more time. Just kidding. Robin, what do you got for close?
Well, thanks for coming out, everybody. It's very much appreciated as always. Tonight was once again a fascinating conversation, and the Mickey Stein's case. For those who aren't familiar with it, make sure you check out Lee's playlist on it. I did link in the description in the chat tonight his video from earlier today. It's excellent, and of course, his commentary, as always, is entertaining and interesting. His insights with it. So, so we appreciate you whether you come out live or whether you're on the replay crew. It's very much appreciated, and I hope everyone has a wonderful, wonderful night.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that for saying the kind words about my commentary. I appreciate that as much. Dago, what do you got for closing?
Closed. No, I'm just kidding. So, again, I do want to throw something in here. This might take a second, but since he brought it up, because it is my favorite movie ever in life since I was 10 years old. Real quick though, the John Carpenter movie for Halloween, just a little quick piece of information. The reason why that movie was so popular and did so well is because if you think about it, folks, you never one time watched them sink a knife into a body. You never saw any gore, any blood. It was always the anticipation of what was getting ready to happen.
Yeah,
and that's what made that movie so amazing. And that was done on it was supposed to be a low budget movie, a very low budget, and a very with almost nothing, and never was expected to be as good as it was.
And Dago, the other big thing too, I think, was there are parts of the original that put you behind the eyes of, behind the eyes of the mask, and you actually heard him like breathing,
the shape, right?
Creepy as hell.
Absolutely.
I have to digress I hope it's only momentarily. I don't want to cause a whole discussion about it. But speaking of John Carpenter and music, one of the best, I hated the sequel. It was the only moment that was amazing. John Carpenter's The Thing, the original movie, The Thing.
Yes.
With that amazing badass movie soundtrack at the beginning with the dong dong, and they got the dog going across the snow and and that music was so impactful to me that later when they did the prequel to the movie, which is about what happened to the Swedish station that got wiped out. They ended that movie where the original movie begins, and they start chasing the dog out into the snow, and then the music kicks in, and I got the fucking chills. I was like, oh my God, it was such a way to tie those two films together, that because the first movie starts with the dog being chased across the snow and that music, and then the prequel ended with them chasing the dog out in the snow, and then the music starts, and I was like, oh, that was
Friday the 13th, Essie. But yes, what's the other movie called, Lee?
The prequel to The Thing?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll have to look that up because I'm interested. I don't know, but John Carpenter did his own music too, right?
Yeah, I didn't know that he did that, but man, he had some great scores. I mean, everything that he did had great scores to the music. Yeah. All right. Logan, thank you, by the way, for being so patient. Did you have something else you wanted to add before I throw it to Logan?
I probably ruined it with saying that. I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for joining us tonight.
Yeah.
You guys are all appreciated as always. Tonight was actually a really, really good conversation. I'm glad that we got to spend some time on Lecher County because we don't get to do much of it. Hopefully it answers some questions for you too, Logan, truly. But thank you to all the moderators as always. Everybody out here, you guys know we love you. We wouldn't be here without you. Don't forget to love yourselves and each other. Don't change nothing. You guys are the beautiful people. There we go.
Thank you so much. And interesting, I don't know if that person's thought that they popped up there was right, but they said John Carpenter couldn't sell Halloween until he added the music, and that would be interesting if that was true. That's amazing. That's amazing. The music was amazing. A lot of anyways. Logan, you finally get to go.
I just want to thank everybody for being here, especially at our new time slot for this week that we're trying out. So thank you for tuning in. We appreciate all of you. Thank you to Lee and 11 and Robin and Dago for having me. I appreciate you guys so much. Tonight was really good. My brain is like a sponge. So getting to learn new things on cases that I haven't tuned into myself is very interesting to me. I appreciate all of you. Do something nice for yourself today. Be kind, but more importantly, be kind to your animals. Have a good night. Bye, guys.
All right. Thank you so much. And I hope that you enjoyed the conversation on Lecher County. And it's a crazy case. I think you started to see the tip of the iceberg on that case. It's a crazy case. So as for me, I want to say thank you all for coming tonight. I appreciate the new time seems, I'll get feedback from everybody after the show, but it seems to be working out. Our numbers really aren't that much different than a normal night. I thought we were going to get crushed when we moved up an hour. We didn't get crushed. It seems like it's pretty par for the course for us. So if it works out for everybody else, we probably are here to stay at the new time frame. It gives a better opportunity for growth in the future for more audience to join us. So, and then it also allows some of us to have the after show and not feel like we're dragging our ass at 1 o'clock in the morning doing the after show. What the hell is Logan putting on screen? What the hell's going on there?
Somebody finally noticed it was on my mantle.
Oh.
That's awesome. All right, everybody. Thank you for coming. And we will see you again tomorrow night at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, our new time. Yeah, have a great one, everyone. And
have a great night, everybody.
For those
Good night.
members only, we are going to get together in about 15, 20 minutes on a members only stream. If you want to hang out, it's a kind of an ask me anything format. We can talk about the paranormal as we often do, or whatever the hell comes up on your mind. It's going to be crazy, just a hangout. So hang out with us for a while if you'd like to. And now I really will say good night. Have a good one.
Have a great one, folks.